Nick Peron here from Micro-Shockapos. After a long hiatus, we're finally getting back to finishing our Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective. Today we're looking at Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master, a personal favorite of mine in the film series. In this movie, Freddy's accidentally brought back to life by the last of the Elm Street kids and begins picking them off one by one. Of course, with only 3 left, the writers had to come up with a way of making Freddy able to kill non-Elm Street kids. Enter the convenient plot point. In this movie, when Freddy kills not Patricia Arquette, he tricks her into dragging her friend Alice into the dream world and forces her to pass along her power to bring people into other dreams. So whenever Alice falls asleep at the same time as one of her buddies, Freddy pulls them into the dream world and kills them. As a side effect, poor Alice gains the ability and personality traits of her friends, turning her from a total wallflower to an ass-kicking femme fatale, who ultimately fights Freddy to the death. Surprise! As I said, this is my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, just based on the fact it is entirely self-aware of itself and totally panders to the 80s MTV generation audience that embraced the Nightmare series to begin with. So instead of my usual mockery, I'm going to do something different. I now present to you, What If George Lucas did a special edition of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. First of all, you've got to have the rolling text. And the star field, that's important. Nothing says cinematic masterpiece like scrolling text. We'll get to all those moving picture things that you turn of the century folks are used to in about 10 minutes. Let's just sit back and watch. God, this is kind of boring. Let's just move on. So anyways, like any George Lucas remastering, you gotta have digital effects to make things look more lively. Like, you know, maybe in the junkyard scene we can add some flying demons, like a reference to the later films in the series. And then you could just, like, have the entire junkyard planet explode in the end. That'd be great! And of course, you know, you gotta embellish themes, you gotta add little digital fixes here and there. Let's take the scene where, like, they introduce Alice's dad and you realize he's a fucking drunk. Like, you could tweak that a bit. That's a little too subtle. Let's just add a lot more booze bottles for Dad. There we go. See? The audience totally gets it now. Not so subtle. So, the other thing they do as well, George Lucas, he'll be like, oh man, we gotta make it relate to, like, the younger audience, so I think we should, like, totally replace the character Rick's face with Jaden Smith so younger people can get into it. But I guess while we're at it, let's put Patricia Arquette's face on Tuesday Night's Body. Much better. Oh, and of course, no George Lucas spectacular is complete without making previously unblinking abominations blink, thus making them more creepy. So, like in this scene where the girl turns into a cockroach, BAM! Blinking cockroaches. You're welcome. And of course, you know, in this scene here, Alice shoots her laser gun at Freddy, and that seems to make her seem like, you know, a harsh, unlikable character. So, in the remastered version, I would think that, you know, Freddy would have to shoot first. Because, you know, you don't want Alice to seem like a cold-hearted killer or anything. Also, more 80s pop culture references. There's not enough in this movie. Like, come on, we can add a lot more. Maybe a poster here, maybe a catchphrase there.
Where's the beef?
The bag's under your eyes.
Oh, and then for no reason, you gotta have a mechanical hand come out of the paper, grab the girl's face, and attack her and wait. Oh. That was in the original movie. Anyways, there you have it. An infinitely better film. If any of George Lucas's people are out there watching this, call me, we'll talk deal. I got a million ideas for making old movies better with shitty digital effects. And that concludes my look back at Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Coming up next, we're taking a look at the shit show that is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. See you later, Micro-Shockers.
Micro-Shock, watch